After numerous rain showers that took place here at Martinsville Speedway, we are finally here on a Tuesday night here at Martinsville Speedway, an unusual Tuesday event here for the NASCAR Fastenal Cup Series. But of course, we had multiple rain showers that occurred here at Martinsville throughout the entire weekend, and we got completely washed out for the weekend. So we had to push this race back to Tuesday here for Martinsville for race 13 for the Xfinity 500. We did have qualifying that took place later on today, and that was during the daytime, and obviously it was during the morning. So these drivers did get the qualifying laps in, but nonetheless, we're about to get started here for race 13 here in the NASCAR Fastenal Cup Series. 2 races left before we crown a champion here in the NASCAR Fastenal Cup Series, Tim James. Yeah, time is winding down for a lot of these guys here, and after what we saw with these, especially at Phoenix Raceway, a lot of DNFs, 23 to be exact, collecting a lot of big namers. The point standings definitely shook up after that, and, of course, we still see Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch as the top 3. But right now in 3rd place, obviously the 48 of Alex Bowman, coming up strong from a 2nd straight victory at Phoenix Raceway. He's looking to try to three-peat here in Martinsville and to win his 3rd consecutive race here in the Fastenal Cup Series to get him even closer getting up towards that top. And before we get started, guys, I want to give a little update here that Timothy Jameson will actually not be with us here in the booth today. Instead, it'll be a 2-man group here in the booth today because Timothy Jameson actually has the flu. So unfortunately, he's not going to be with us here today. But nonetheless, we're going to provide you a great race here at Martinsville Speedway for the Xfinity 500. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at your starting lineup to see where your favorite drivers will be starting at here for the Xfinity 500 at Ridgeway, Virginia. Chris Buescher in the 17. A couple weeks ago, he got his first DNF at Phoenix Raceway. Now he's going to find himself on the pole here at Martinsville Speedway with Christopher Bell on the 20, who came oh so close to get the victory at Phoenix. He rounds up the front row. And we got the 8 of Kyle Busch, currently 2nd in the championship standings, 21 points behind Martin Truex Jr., championship leader. He starts 3rd with Denny Hamlin in the number 11, starting 4th in row 2. And how about this paint scheme for the 5 of Kyle Larson? Shout out to Beeline's design for most of the paint schemes that we're going to be using here at Martinsville Speedway. Kyle Larson's going to start 5th with Joey Logano in the number 22, one of our championship contenders, and sits in row number 3. How about row 4? 2 drivers currently listed in our danger zone that we're going to get into here in a little bit. That's the 14 of Chase Briscoe and the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who had such a strong run in the first half. So now having a collapse in the points, currently right now all the way back to 14th after being the 3rd for a majority of the season. And now he's in a situation where his season could come to an end here in Martinsville Speedway. More into that a little later. Kansas winner Ryan Blaney's going to start in the 9th place position, bringing back the Wabash colors that he had at Kansas Motor Speedway. Currently finds himself 9th in the standings as well. And Willie Meyer in the number 24 as well finds himself in the danger zone. He currently wraps up the top 10. We'll get more into that a little later, but let's move on to the remainder of the field. As we see the 34 Michael McDowell in row 6. Currently starting off 11, he was eliminated at Phoenix Raceway, so his season is already over. But how about the 9 of Chase Elliott, starting 12th, currently 7th in the standings right now. As a matter of fact, Chase Elliott is one out of 2 drivers that still hasn't had a DNF so far here this season. And the other driver will be the 20 of Christopher Bell. Both of them are hoping that they continue that streak here after today, so we're going to keep an eye on them. But Chase Elliott's going to start here 12th here at Martinsville. And in row 7, the 23 of Bubba Wallace, currently 12th in the standings. A little closer to that danger zone, but of course we'll get more into that a little later. But Bubba Wallace, regardless or not, if he's in the danger zone or not, he needs to have a great finish here today. And that 48 of Alex Bowman coming home strong from a 2nd consecutive win, hoping to try to three-peat today in the team mobile colors this week. Obviously, Bowman is hoping that he can continue his strong run here today, but he does start 14th, so he's got a little bit of work to do, including the championship leader, the 19 of Martin Truex Jr., who starts 15th in row 8. So we're going to have to keep an eye on him. And the 41 of Ryan Preece, obviously just hoping that he can finish the season off on a high note. He does start 16th in row 8. Now in row 9, we see both Austin Cindric and Ty Gibbs, both now eliminated from championship contention after Phoenix a couple weeks ago. But we might want to keep an eye on them because they've had great speeds so far here this weekend. So we got to keep an eye on the 2 and the 54 as they start in row 9 and 17th and 18th. Let's keep an eye on the both of those. And rounding up the top 20 in row number 10, we see the 16 of AJ Allmendinger finally having a great qualifying position as he does start 19th. And does this paint scheme bring back any memories to anybody? Yes, sir, guys, the one of Ross Chastain bringing back the moose colors here. This is the same scheme that he used when he did the Half Mile of IOL back in 2022 to make his way into what was then the Championship 4. So very fitting for Ross Chastain to bring the moose colors here at Martinsville Speedway. And I don't think he's going to try to attempt the Half Mile this time, because you can get lucky once, but I don't think you get lucky twice. In a different game, that is. So, Tim James, you want to take it away? Yes, the States of Brad Keselowski. He's going to start 21st here today in hopes to at least recover from a bad day at Phoenix Raceway last race. And he does start 21st, so he's got a little bit of work to do. But however, though, the driver next to him, the 99 of Daniel Suarez, needs to have a great day regardless, because he is currently in the danger zone. He does start 22nd, so a little bit of work to do, but we'll get more into that and see where he needs to finish later on. And same day for the 3 of Austin Dillon and our Michigan winner, Tyler Reddick in the 45. Both of these drivers are in our current danger zone here at Martinsville Speedway. Obviously, both said they have a pretty tough day here to conquer, because they could have their season very well come to an end after the day at Martinsville if things don't go their way. Oh yeah, by the way, congratulations to Tyler Reddick winning the Daytona 500. Oh yeah, absolutely, congratulations. What a finish too. That was crazy. Alright, in row 13, we see the 77 of Carson Hocevar. He was already eliminated after Phoenix Raceway, but Daniel Hemrick is another one of our race winners that is also in the danger zone. We got to keep an eye on him as well today, here in the number 31, as he starts 28th. And SVG, all the way back in row 14 in the 27th position, cannot have a bad finish here today. And I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm talking about, but man, Justin Haley, something just needs to go right for the 7 car, because he needs to really pick it up here. Although he's already eliminated, he hopes to have a great day at least one of these days. And guys, right there, the 36, that's going to be Zane Smith, making his first start in the Fastenal Cup Series since Richmond back in December. And that right there is the 97 of Tim Simmons rounding up the top 30. And man, just look at that paint scheme, makes me feel kind of hungry. Of course, his sponsor is Sonic, because he used to work there. And for the first time since Daytona, Todd Gilliland's bringing the Georgia Peanuts Ford colors. Thought we would never see this paint scheme again, but he is right now in the 31st position. And Eric Jones, man, another bad qualifying effort for him. He starts 32nd in row 16. And guys, right there, that 51, driving it this week is going to be Justin Bonsignor. Obviously, short tracks has been his bread and butter, so obviously it's kind of fitting that we have a short track driver here in the number 51 racing here. And that 44, making his first start, is Derek Kraus. It's also the first time that 44 has also made it into the field, surprisingly enough, but Derek Kraus will make his first start here today. And Noah Gratton in the 10, man, another bad qualifying effort for him, as he's all the way back in row 18, starting 35th. It really hasn't gone his way throughout the second half of the season so far. And how about Harrison Burton during the Ryan Blaney effort, doing the Menards and Motorcraft colors? Pretty interesting paint scheme right there. And John Nemechek, he's obviously just out there trying to, have some great days here today, especially being dead last in points. And rounding out the field, the 4-car Josh Berry, he's going to be starting at the rear today because he failed pre-race inspection. So he's going to be starting at the back of the pad towards the rear. He didn't have a bad qualifying position, because initially he qualified 21st, but he's going to have to start at the rear of the field because he failed tech. And I heard he actually has decent speed in that car, so be on the lookout for him tonight. And of course, let's real quickly take a look at your danger zone. You just see 2 drivers that has a win in this series in this list, that being the 45 and the 31. As you see, a lot of big names involved in there too, including Larson, Wallace, Byron, and Stenhouse. 3 drivers can be eliminated with the DNF, and as you can see, SVG, he can't have a bad finish here today. And everybody just does not need to have Truex finish in the top 10, or else all of them will be eliminated from championship contention. Briscoe and Hamrick can't have a bad finish either, unless they will all be eliminated as well early on. And the one that was unable to qualify here today, Joey Gase in the 53, is going home. He DQ'd from this race, and he will not participate here in this race. But right now, let's finally get engines fired here at the world's famous paperclip. Let's set it track side to get engines fired here in Martinsville.
This is the most American thing I've ever done in my life. Drivers, start your engines!
3 races left to go here with the Fastenal Cup Series. Time is winding down fast for these drivers, and every position matters. 100 laps here at Martinsville Speedway, and these laps are going to be very crucial for these drivers here. Busch and Bell makes up the front row, and obviously since Jimothy's not here, I guess I'll say this. It's another day, it's another body. We're green here at Martinsville.
Let's go racing, you bunch of hot dogs.
What?
I don't know, somebody on TV said it.
Alright, well anyways, Chris Buescher has the early jump start here as he takes the lead here on the first lap. Christopher Bell, however, though, it's already trying to be feisty here as he's trying to put the back bumper onto the 17 here. Looks like the 17 is going to lead the first lap, and he will. Christopher Bell, though, is still trying to take that lead away. Already they're side by side for the lead. Chris Buescher now is stuck on the top side.
Yeah, this is the type of action we're expected to see here in this race, obviously, with a lot of side-by-side action. Cup Series can never, by the way, on a short track. And as you see, Christopher Bell already racing hard for the lead, even though it's just the second lap, as we're now on lap 3.
And of course, let's not to mention, everybody here in the top 5, Bell, Buescher, Hamlin, Busch, and Larson, and even Logano are looking for their first wins of the series so far. So, if things can go their way, we could expect to see a first-time winner here in the Fastenal Cup Series, obviously. Actually, everybody in the top 7 is looking for a win here, including Joey and Chase Briscoe in the 14. And as you see, Chris Buescher already taking the lead right back. A little bit of technical difficulties on the cameras there, but we'll get back to the leaders right there. There we go. Yeah, we'll probably see that a lot. This is a short track, by the way. But Christopher Bell still trying to battle along with Chris Buescher and already almost made contact right there. That was a close call.
Yeah, there's also not to mention these drivers are just as hungry to get their first win of the series.
We didn't expect to see these guys struggle to get their win. Obviously, we know that the 20 of Christopher Bell has had many different opportunities to get his win early on. But of course, a lot of misjudgment timing, a lot of bad luck.
And it just looks like that 17 car cannot pull away.
Trouble, turn 2 hard into the inside wall. The 7 of Justin Haley gets clipped by the 38 of Todd Gilliland. He's done a lot of damage to the light side of that car, and already we are under caution for the first time today here at Martinsville.
Man, I just mentioned that Justin Haley is really hoping to at least try to improve after what has been happening in the second half of the season so far. Just another misfortunate timing for the 7 of Justin Haley as he gets caught up in another incident here. It's just been a bad stretch so far for that 7 car of Justin Haley. Let's take a look at what happened.
Yeah, right there, the 38 just clipped the 7 and hard into the inside wall. I don't know what happened for that to occur. I don't know if there was retaliation from an earlier incident. I just don't know. But that 38 just clipped the left rear of the 7 of Justin Haley. And that's how Haley gets into the wall. Big contact right there for the 7.
Well, to me, what I believe is that I think the 7 checked up and the 38 just did not have enough time to react. But, you know, we've seen that a lot from a lot of these drivers here. And I don't believe it was for retaliation. I just think it was a simple misjudgment timing.
Well, I did hear from the radio of the 7 of Justin Haley. He said, go tell the 38 thanks. So, obviously, Haley thinks that he got right hurt, but I'm with you, Tim James. I just think the 7 checked up way early here as we're actually going to ride along with the 7 see what happened.
Yeah, he checked up way early right there. You can hear him letting off the brake. Hard contact by the 7 car of Justin Haley. Obviously, he drove away, but we're not sure the extent of the damage of that 7 car. We just hope that a tow link isn't broken, unless that's going to be an early day ender for the 7. And obviously, Todd Gilliland, no time to react. The 7 checked up way early in front of him, causing the 38 to hit the 7 from the left rear to get him spinning around into the inside wall. We'll get an update on Justin Haley to see if he will be able to continue here as we're already under our first caution here in the Xfinity 500 on lap 5 as Justin Haley goes for a spin, slams in the inside wall, entering turn number 1. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break, and we'll be back for the restart here at Martinsville. Hey, did you look at the sky? That moon is casting over above from the clouds.
Where?
Yeah, right there, see? Yeah, even Cashin sees it.
Well, as one person once said, full moon tonight. Chris Buescher continues to lead here at the paperclip. He is still looking for his very first win of the series so far, and we saw in the first half that he had a very phenomenal run going until he had his first DNF at Phoenix. He is still currently in the championship hunt as he leads the field to the restart here on lap 10 here at Martinsville.
And now you gotta wonder, how will these single file restarts play out here? We saw what happened with the double file starts. Christopher Bell had such a great advantage, but this time Chris Buescher was able to pull away from the 20, but now the 11 is now trying to put pressure onto the 20. But the 8 car of Kyle Busch, however, though, is closing in. And this 8 car of Kyle Busch, currently running in the 4th place position, started out 3rd here in today's event. Still looking for his first win here in the Fastenal Cup Series. Currently 2nd in the standings, 21 points behind Martin Truex Jr. Kyle Larson, though, looking to try to keep his season alive here as he's currently running in the top 5. The only thing he's just got to hope for now is that Martin Truex Jr. does not finish in the top 10. And already we got some guys coming down pit road. That's the 4 of Josh Berry and the 1 of Ross Chastain also in there too. Well, the 1 and the 4 did not come down pit road because they had issues. They just wanted to at least make a few adjustments here on these cars here, as they have been off the pace. But obviously the 17 car of Chris Buescher, the exact opposite, as he continues to dominate here in Martinsville. 1 car back on the track, trying not to block the 17 of Chris Buescher, because we've seen that multiple times at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We know how well that went out for them. But now he's side by side with Ross Chastain as he puts the 1 car a lap down now. Just pretty much summarizes Ross Chastain's season so far. Yeah, guys, it's just been a disaster for this 1 car Ross Chastain. The 12 races that we raced so far here, he's only had 2 top 10s and 0 top 5s. His best finish came at Pocono, and that was a 6th place finish. And in total, he has a staggering 6 DNFs so far here in the first 12 races. Things cannot go into Ross Chastain's way so far this series. And obviously now he goes a lap down this early on. Things just cannot go Ross Chastain's way. Chastain goes a lap down, and we're going to keep an eye on the top 2 currently in points. Martin Truex Jr. right now currently listed.
Oh, the leader spun out! The leader spun out! Chris Buescher spins in turn 1. Everybody's trying to get through. He's trying to get it rolling again.
Looked like he may have had a little help from the 42 of John and Nemechek. I don't know, but the 17 came into turn 1 and he spun out, collecting the 42 with him. Christopher Bell is leading this race.
An unbelievable turn of events here at Martinsville Speedway. Race leader Chris Buescher going for a spin, coming into the turn 1. Josh Berry's going to get the wave around. He's going to get back on the lead lap, but major implications for the 17 of Chris Buescher. He's still able to get it rolling, but here's what happened here.
Oh, he locked up the red front. Came into that corner a little too high and just locked it up right there. Obviously, I don't think John and Nemechek had any idea that was coming, and I'm pretty sure the 17 didn't mean to do that on purpose, but you just can't make those types of mistakes, especially if you're leading. You're trying to race for a championship. You just got to avoid mistakes like this, and I'm pretty sure John and Nemechek is not too happy, but I'm pretty sure Chris Buescher isn't either.
Well, good news is it doesn't look like that 17 has that much damage, but you just got to worry about how much is going to kill its momentum.
Yeah, I heard on Chris Buescher's radio that he came in there a little too hard and he checked up the brakes, so it was definitely on Chris Buescher's end. Had nothing to do with John and Nemechek. It's just a leader making a mistake, and that's very crucial, especially on a short track like Martinsville.
Yeah, I also want to clarify that Ross Chastain is actually not a lap down. He is 2 laps down, as a matter of fact, And so that's why Josh Berry got the wave around instead of Ross Chastain, including the 42 of John and Nemechek, because obviously he was involved in the accident. And I'm also being told Chris Buescher is staying out. They're not going to make any repairs, so we're going to see how well that's going to work out for him.
And obviously, if you're Christopher Bell right now, you're probably thinking, what happened? As he sees the race leader, Chris Buescher, spinning around in turn 1. He currently leads here right now in Martinsville now.
He is for sure, as the caution comes out for the 2nd time here today on lap 18, as Chris Buescher, who has led 15 out of the first 18 laps so far, gets in on the wall, collecting John and Nemechek. We're going to see how things shape out for him as he stays out, and we'll provide more updates when we come back after this quick commercial break as we're under our 2nd caution. We're about to restart on lap 23 of the Xfinity 500. Obviously, Chris Buescher, like what we saw from the previous caution that came out, he spun as the race leader. So now we see Christopher Bell now as our current race leader so far. Chris Buescher is still on the track. He's currently still listed in the 10th place position. So surprisingly enough, he's still listed in the top 10. But we're going to see how things are going to shape out here. Can he get back up to the front here as Christopher Bell leads him down to the restart here? Let's see how things shape out. Yeah, Christopher Bell was able to pull away easily from his teammate Danny Hamlin in the number 11. And we saw multiple times from this 20 car that they have cars capable with the speed for them to potentially win the race until it just doesn't go his way. He's hoping this time things to go on his side this time, as you see the one of Ross Chastain continuing the struggle. And of course, now he's 2 laps down, as you mentioned, Simmons Tim. We thought he was going to be a lap down initially, but he's actually 2 laps down. And how about this 22 car, Joey Logano? We haven't been able to talk about him a bunch so far in the second half. He is currently running 4th right now at the moment, but right now he is currently in the top 5 in the championship standings. But he was leading the points after Talladega after just 1 race, until he lost it immediately after a bad day at Michigan. But even though he's currently 38 points right behind our championship leader, Martin Truex Jr., I definitely would not count him out yet. And we're obviously going to keep an eye on the 17 of Chris Buescher, as he's being challenged by the 19 of Martin Truex Jr., who is trying to fight his way up to the front. And right now, Martin Truex Jr. is struggling. He is currently listed in the 11th place position. We keep mentioning about the fight between Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch in the championship hunt, because in reality, it's actually very close. He has 21 points. He still currently leads the championship by 21 points over Kyle Busch. And as a matter of fact, Martin Truex Jr. has been leading the points for 7 straight races. And both Truex and Busch have been 1 and 2 since Michigan. So it really has been a close battle for a very long time between these two guys. But now, as we see, the 11 of Denny Hamlin trying to close in on his teammate. Yeah, it's not to mention, Denny Hamlin is hungry for a win. We've talked about it multiple times about a lot of big namers still looking for their first win, including the 20 of Christopher Bell and that 8 of Kyle Busch. A win is definitely going to be huge for them, especially with these 3 guys currently running in the top 6 in points currently right now at the moment, as we got a little bit of action right here in the pack. That's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 47, pretty mid-pack in the field, and as we talked about, Stenhouse has been a dark horse for the first half of the season until he's having a major collapse so far in the second half. He is trying to find his way back up to the top to try to see if he can keep his season alive, as we mentioned that he is in the danger zone coming in here.
Oh, look at this, we got teammates battling along for position.
And this is for 12, Chase Elliott in the 9, and Alex Bowman in the 48. Obviously, Bowman currently 3rd in the standings, trying to see if he could three-peat his way. Currently, right now, running in the 13th place position. He is trying his best to fight up to the top, but right now, he is struggling. But look out, here comes Denny Hamlin once again, still trying to creep in on this lead. Yeah, but remember, we still got a long way to go. We have 100 laps here in Martinsville, and this is just lap 31. So we so far only ran a third of this race so far, and so we still got at least 70 laps left here at Martinsville Speedway, so anything can still happen here. And a lot of guys in the danger zone can still try to save their season.
Oh, and Christopher Bell.
Oh
my God.
Man, right there. What a close call right there for the 20 as he makes contact with the 21 of Harrison Burton. Almost got those 2 around. That was nearly identical like what we saw from the 17 of Chris Buescher on lap 18. That could have been costly right there for the 20 of Christopher Bell, but that surely helped out the 11.
Well, I mean, kind of, sort of. He didn't really gain a lot on that 20 car, but the 11 of Denny Hamlin, but actually, never mind. The 11 car of Denny Hamlin is actually closing in, probably because of all this lap traffic they're about to catch up to.
Grandson Bonsignor and Derek Kraus are the ones that they're about to gain on. Will this help out the 11 car, or will this help out the 8 of Kyle Busch, who is currently running 3rd?
Bad news, they got both lanes blocked
For both the 20 and the 11. Look how much the 8 of Kyle Busch gained coming into that turn there. And wow, all of a sudden, now Kyle Busch finds himself up here to battle with this lead right here. Yeah, here comes the 8 of Kyle Busch, trying to make a move to the outside, trying to get past his former teammate, Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, Hamlin's stuck on the inside lane with the 51 of Justin Bonsignor right in front of him. Now he goes up to block the 8 of Kyle Busch.
Oh, and it looks like Denny Hamlin's now going to be stuck on the top side with the 44 of Derek Kraus. This is going to help out the 20 of Christopher Bell as he's trying to pass Noah Gratz in the lap car. That helped out the 20 to scoot away from 2nd and 3rd. And you can kind of put this in perspective. Knowing about how small Martinsville is, you can kind of say that's one of the keys to victory. Because the 20 of Christopher Bell was able to pull away because the 11 and the 8 was stuck in lap traffic. And that's good news for the leader, but definitely not for those that was stuck right there behind those cars. But this helped out the 22 of Joey Logano as he's now closing in on 3rd on the 8 of Kyle Busch, his former best friend.
Yeah, but as you can see up top, the 11 of Denny Hamlin is still struggling as he is still trying to get past all this lap traffic.
He is stuck behind the 42 of Jonathan Nemechek on the bottom side, so that definitely closed the door right there for Denny Hamlin. But it looks like he moved out of the way, so that's going to let Denny Hamlin get passed by. But currently right now, there's nobody between the 20 and the 11, but the 20 is rapidly approaching towards more lap traffic as you saw right there. And Bell's going to go down to the bottom. That's going to make it nearly 3 wide. That's the 38 of Todd Gilliland. Backs down away from it. Now he's trying to get past the 97 of Simmons, and he's going to do just that. That's not very ideal to be 3 wide with lap traffic cars, especially if you're the leader. As trouble, turn 1. Justin Bonsignor into the wall, coming into turn number 1. Looks like he got clipped from behind by somebody. He's able to keep moving. He's still rolling, but he did make pretty hard contact with the wall coming into turn 1, and there's damage on the right side of that car. And we have a trip.
Caution's out here, Timmy.
And I believe it was the 5 car Kyle Larson that made contact with the 51 of Justin Bonsignor that caused him to go around. Thankfully, though, he doesn't have damage on the nose, but I'm quite positive it was him. It was a black and blue car that was behind the 51 of Justin Bonsignor. Let's take a look at this replay and see if that was true. Well, here comes the 5. And, oh, wow. Oh. Yeah, it's just like what we saw before. We see a lot of guys having problems trying to get by lap traffic. Of course, what we saw from the 20, our race leader. And, I don't know, Sim, it didn't look deliberate, but that 5 car came in way too high. Well, I mean, it definitely did look deliberate, but to be completely honest, like, it definitely did not look deliberate right there, because the 5 came in with a lot of speed, and the 51 just did not have a lot of time to notice that the 5 was catching in. Justin really should have just gone out of the way and let the 51 pass by, so I'm pretty sure Kyle Larson did not see that coming. I'm pretty sure Justin didn't either. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying right there, Sam, and, oh, man! That was a lot more harder than it looked like in the first 2 angles. Wow, did you see how close it was for the 19 of Martin Truex Jr.? Wow, he barely got through that. It looks like he grazed the 51 just a bit. Yeah, definitely close right there, as it looks like he made the smallest contact with the 51 of Justin Bonsignor. The 5 did tell on the radio, go tell the 51, I apologize for that. Clearly, Larson didn't mean to wreck the 51, because obviously Justin Bonsignor didn't have any time to react to try to get away from the 5, because the 5 was closing in fast, but obviously the 51 should have just gone out of the way and let the 5 car pass. Oh. Yeah, right along with the 5 car, Kyle Larson, and just listen as he comes into turn 1. Right there. Yep, at that moment, Kyle Larson already let off the brakes, so that clearly was not intentional at any part. It's just the 51 of Justin Bonsignor was at the wrong place at the wrong time. As we are now under our 3rd caution here on lap 38, after we just had our longest green flag run of the day so far. And right there, you see how close it was for the 19 of Truex, making contact with the 51 of Justin Bonsignor. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break, and we'll be right back for another restart here at Martinsville, the Paperclip. And as we're about to restart, take a look at the shot right here from our turn 3 camera operator. Look at this, as he's been one of the first camera operators that we've had since the season started, and he's done a phenomenal work ever since. And we're proud of the effort that he has had so far here in this season, as we're about to take the restart here once again. As Christopher Bell leads him down once again, we are already almost halfway there. Yeah, we got 54 laps remaining here in Martinsville, and as a matter of fact, these guys actually pitted during that caution period, but we usually expect to see, the pit road cycle usually be lap 75 to around 80. So maybe this could help these guys out. I'm not sure what strategy they're on, but if only Simmons Tim was here, because I don't know any about this. Yeah, Simmons Tim is also not with us in the booth either, as well as Jimothy Jameson, as they are currently dealing with the sickness. But you are right there, Tim James, because they were expecting to pit around lap 75 to 80, but since they pitted during that most recent caution period, they may be able to make it all the way. It just depends about how much fuel they have towards the end, as Eric Jones is now pitting. Yeah, and I overheard on the radio that the 43 was reporting a loose wheel, so he had to come in for service. And as he comes out of the pit road, he's going to be at least 1 lap down here as he joins back to the field. Oh man, and look at Truex. He is flying his way up to the top, as he's now currently listed in the top 10 currently, as he's trying to get past all this lap traffic. Yep, and him being in the top 10, that's bad news for a lot of the guys in the danger zone. Oh, we got cars sideways coming into turn 2.
It's Tim.
Oh, man, and Tim Simmons, who is a lap down currently, is getting hit around like a ping pong ball as everybody's trying to avoid.
Oh, 91 SVG trying to make his way through,
and he's still getting hit. Tim is just trying to get that thing straight, and he's like, come on, guys, stop hitting me. I'm trying to get it straight.
Looks like he does now, and
Oh, and
Ross
Ross Chastain. Looks like he's smoking. Looks like the radiator's busted in. I saw the one make contact with the 97, and he's done a lot of damage towards the nose. The 7 also has a lot of damage too. Since Brad Keselowski looks like he was involved in that as well, including the 77 of course and Hocevar. That was just a stack up coming in the turn 2. Everybody just kept hitting the 97 like it was a ping pong ball. But let's take a look at what actually happened. My goodness, they were nearly 4 wide
Holy
right
cow.
there coming in the turn 2, and looks like the 38 made slight contact with the 97. Obviously, there was no room to avoid. And look at the 19 just barely squeezed through.
Yeah, we were just riding along with the 19 of Truex, and that whole thing started right in front of him, and that definitely would have been bad for the 19, especially in the championship standings. And look how everybody was bunched up coming into turn 2, 4 wide. Clearly no room for these guys at all. Hard shot right there for the one of Ross Chastain, and here's the 19.
He's literally sideways coming into turn 2, and he was able to avoid that accident.
Holy cow.
Yikes.
Holy crap, that was close.
That's exactly what we said,
The
Martin.
words right out of our mouth, Martin.
Well, that clearly shows you how fast things can get here in Martinsville.
Because that 19 was definitely lucky to be able to avoid that 97 of Tim Simmons, and he was also lucky that nobody plowed into him while he was trying to avoid. Yeah, he was lucky that nobody came in and hit him right there, because that definitely would have been bad for that 19 of Truex, but yeah, he definitely dodged the bullet right there.
And here's a view from Cash and Reds. He sees the whole thing happening right in front of him. And great camelwood right there for Cashin. And man, that 97 was like a punching bag because of how many times he's getting hit. Yeah, I bet Tim is like, oh my God, stop. That 97 really wanted to try to get that thing straight. And he's like, come on, guys, stop wrecking into me. Well, he should also be lucky that it wasn't a much more bigger accident, as he was really the main culprit of that accident. But Ross Chastain did, however, though, got a lot of damage, as you see the car smoking, as it pretty much busted up the radiator. Yeah, not to mention it also just busted the motor on that thing, so I would not be surprised if that's going to be a day ender for the one of Ross Chastain. But my gosh, man, Chastain cannot catch a break. And this is who we were riding along with before that incident took place. You can see how close it was actually for Martin Truex Jr. Look at this.
Oh man, look out, Martin.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
And that's how Martin Truex Jr. was able to make it through without a scratch.
That was close, but this really changes the complexion of this race, definitely for sure.
Just like that, we have now officially reached halfway here at this race. But the 97 of Tim Simmons, involved in an accident, collects numerous drivers and nearly collecting our championship leader, Martin Truex Jr. in 19. This is our 4th caution here in Martinsville, and we're going to take a quick commercial break here as you see everybody trying to avoid the 97, but keeps piling on in. Somehow, someway, that 97 was able to continue rolling. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back for yet again another restart here at Martinsville Speedway.
And the caution's out.
Alright, so now that we officially reached halfway, let's take a look at your race synopsis here so far. Here on lap 53 out of 100, we have 4 cautions already so far. Our longest green flag lap so far was 17 laps, and right now we currently have ran 18 laps under caution, so it really has been a wild evening here so far, and I'm pretty sure it's going to get even more wilder as we're about to take the restart here. Christopher Bell leads them down, and of course, the bottom side are all lap traffic cars. Yeah, and as we look at our leaderboard, we just had 2 cars that went behind the garage, and a reported done for today. That will be Justin Haley and Ross Chastain as those 2 DNF here. Ross Chastain apparently lost so much oil from that accident, and Justin Haley just had too much damage to continue, so... But those 2 are already eliminated after Phoenix, so it doesn't change the fact that they're just on, and oh my goodness,
call
right there for the 22 of Joey Logano, who made contact with the 38 of Todd Gillen. That would have been costly right there for the 22.
Just really got to avoid mistakes like that, because not to mention that he's currently running 4th right now, and he's 5th in the standings. We've seen a lot of drivers do that, especially at turn 1. It's like turn 1 is currently calamity corner as of right now for these drivers.
Well, it has been smooth sailing on the front, though, as Christopher Bell continues to lead, but Denny Hamlin still trying to ease his way up towards the front here, trying to pass his teammate for the lead.
Man, I'm just surprised that these 2 right here has gone on this long without getting a win. They're due for one, especially the 20 of Christopher Bell. He is just as hungry as everybody here in this field. he's had multiple opportunities to end up getting multiple wins here, including Atlanta last January. But Denny Hamlin, as you can see, he is rapidly closing in on the back bump of the 20 of Christopher Bell. Doesn't look like he's going to get him here in this turn.
Yeah, Tim James, the 20 and the 11 has been pulling out identical lap times, so that's the reason why this 20 and the 11 car is so close to one another. But here comes the 11 of Denny Hamlin, still trying to take the lead away from the 20 of Christopher Bell, but the 8 of Kyle Busch is still right there. Don't count him out.
Man, he's there. That 11 car is there, but he just can't make the move right there on the bottom to get past the 20 of Christopher Bell.
And how will this shape out for the 8? Because this 8 car is rapidly approaching on the leaders. As you see, Denny Hamlin right here now finally trying to make a move right there. He is on his quarter panel.
Will he be able to make his move right here? Will he be able to pass him? Oh man, it's really close. They're now side by side right now. And here comes Kyle Busch in the 8.
40 laps to go, and race leader Christopher Bell is getting intimidated by his teammate Denny Hamlin, and the 8 car of Kyle Busch trying to make it 3 wide for the lead here at Martinsville.
This is exactly what I was expecting this later in the race. With 40 laps to go, you just gotta go for it all. The 8 of Kyle Busch. Ooh, wow, he just went way low right there in the apron, and he just lost a lot of
trouble,
momentum.
turn 3, the 42 car. It's turned around into the wall by the 6 of Brad Keselowski. First time having an incident coming into turn 3, but John and Nemechek, like Whitey has many times here so far this season, brings out the caution. And this is our 5th caution here of the day.
And for the 2nd race in a row, we currently have 5 cautions here. We are already tied with the record, of course, being at Phoenix, but at Charlotte, at August as well, we saw 5 cautions in that race as well. So for the 3rd time, we tied the record for most cautions in the Fastenal Cup Series race so far. But it was getting aggressive right before this caution came out. Let's take a look.
Yeah, it's like what we've seen multiple times. It's just everybody's having a hard time getting past lap traffic cars, and since Brad Keselowski just made a poor judgment.
Yeah, but you just have to see this, right? I mean, it's a short track, and it's NR 2003, so everybody's gonna be stupid. But yeah, obviously, Brad didn't mean to ship him on purpose. It's just the equivalent of short track racing. Or the 42 just should have moved out of the way.
Wow, great job breaking the 4th wall there. Well, here's the good news with the 42 of John and Nemechek. He didn't slam the wall, like, viciously hard. He did hit it, obviously, but not as hard as, like, what we saw from other guys here previously. But, it's just Brad right there in a bad position. Hurts the 42, obviously unintentional.
Yeah, I agree, Sam. He didn't make hard contact with the wall, but he did hit it. But thankfully, he will be able to continue, though. But, man, still a bad season for John and Nemechek. You just hate to see it.
And right back on the yellow for the 5th time here in Martinsville, tying the record here for the Fastenal Cup Series for the 3rd time as John and Nemechek gets under the wall coming into turn 3. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back for yet again another restart. Another restart here with 34 laps remaining here for the Xfinity 500 for race 13 out of 15. We're going to ride along with Denny Hamlin here. We're already 1 caution away from breaking the record for the most cautions in the Fastenal Cup Series event. So far, we're currently tied for the 3rd time with 5. And let's go ahead and ride with Denny Hamlin here at this restart here. And these restarts have been easy for this 20 of Christopher Bell as he was able to pull away from the 11 of Denny Hamlin once again. We obviously saw how close and chaotic things were getting before the caution came out on lap 61. And we are getting close to the very end here of this race as of course we're on lap 68. And you see the 5 of Kyle Larson trying to pass the 22 of Joey Logano. Now he's right here in the top 5. Kyle Larson trying to keep his season alive, trying to not be eliminated here after Martinsville. Truex is not in the top 10 currently, so as long as Truex can stay out of the top 10, Kyle Larson can stay alive for one more race. With his 22 of Joey Logano currently right now in the top 5. It's been a pretty good day for Joey Logano, even though he hasn't been a real contender here. But he has been in the top 5 for most of the day so far. Yeah, and of course, Joey Logano is also another one of those drivers that's currently winless here so far in the Fastenal Cup Series, who is also looking for his first win. The only guy so far here in the top 10 so far that has a win is Ryan Blaney in the 12, and he's currently running 6th. But how about the 14 of Chase Briscoe all the way up here into the top 10? And Michael McDowell as well. But how about the 17 car of Chris Buescher, who spun out as the leader, had damage on lap 17, somehow find his way up back to the 9th place position. The fact that he's been running in the top 10 for most of the day already is pretty impressive. Yeah, but right here, Chris Buescher is actually trying to look for more as he was on the back bumper of the 34 Michael McDowell temporarily right there. Ooh, it's getting a little tight coming into 3 here, but look at Chris Buescher. Now they're 3 wide currently right now. This is for 7. Oh man, this is going to be really tight as they come into the turn 1, as this is a struggling turn for these guys. And look at Chris Buescher making a great move to get past McDowell and Briscoe for 7. Man, that 14 car is just getting pinched right there. It is very tight right there for the 14. He was able to back away from it. But yeah, just unbelievable to see the 17 trying to find his way up to the front with the damaged car. But as you see, Chase Briscoe is not done quite yet as he's still trying to get past the 34 Michael McDowell. But the lead is currently shaken up as Denny Hamlin rapidly closing in on the 20 again. Yeah, things are about to get wild here at Martinsville as the 11 of Denny Hamlin once again trying to put his teammate under pressure. But how is things going to shape out? Will they be able to make it all the way to the end here if we just stay green for 26 more laps? Yeah, these guys pitted 33 laps ago and we're approaching in on the pit road cycle as we reach lap 75. We mentioned that it's lap 75 to around 80 was going to be the pit road cycle for these drivers, but since they pitted with 4 tires of fuel 34 laps ago, will they be able to make it to the end? I mean, it's going to be iffy. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going on fuel. I'm not sure about those tires, though. But look right here, the 11 of Denny Hamlin trying to make a move. Denny Hamlin's looking for the lead and looks contact right there by the 20 and the 11. That's going to help out the 11 and the 8 as well, as the 8 is approaching in once again here on this lead. And I'm pretty sure these guys are like, oh, come on, please. I don't want another caution. We're 3 wide once again, almost, for the lead. As you see, Denny Hamlin now making a great move right there. Now he takes the lead here at Martinsville. Hamlin takes the lead as Kyle Busch is now trying to pass Bell for second right now. But how long can Hamlin keep this lead as we're approaching lap traffic once again with the 42 of John and Nemechek? And the big question is, how long will they stay out here? Because obviously, like we mentioned, that they're good on field. We're not sure about the tires that they pitted around lap 41 during our caution break. But, Sim, I don't think they're going to make it. Well, I'm pretty sure they're going to need a caution here within these next 5 laps because, like you said, it's definitely going to be very iffy for all these tires to make it to the end. And looks like we got a slow car here. This might even bring it out. That's Daniel Suarez as he's off the pace here at the front straightaway. And, yep, there it is right there, caution. And there is the caution. Like we just mentioned, this will help out the leaders. Oh, we got a spin in turn 3. Looks like the 47 is involved. The 16. A lot of guys are stopped right there as everybody's trying to avoid. Oh, and more contact, the 91. And Van Gisbergen, like we mentioned, he's currently in the danger zone. He can't have a bad finish. You just gotta hope that the damage is collateral for the 91, unless that's going to be a major blow for this 91 of Shane Van Gisbergen. Because as you mentioned, he cannot have a bad finish. We mentioned he will be eliminated if he finishes 30th or worse, even with a DNF. This is going to be huge for SVG in the 91. Well, things just definitely shooken up here as the caution initially comes out for the 99 of Daniel Suarez, and the 48 has damage here. Oh, and this is bad for the 48 of Alex Bowman, not to mention that he just came off strong from 2 consecutive victories, moves him up to 3rd in the standings, 33 points behind our championship leader, Martin Truex Jr., and with that much damage, this is going to drop the 48 from contention. Well, initially, this was for the 99 of Daniel Suarez that brought out the caution firsthand. As you see, the 99. Oh, wow. Something just broke. Yeah. I don't know, Sam. It's just weird. Like, you saw how sideways that 99 car was coming out of turn number 4. I just don't know what happened to that 99 car. I believe it just shut off. Yeah, I don't know. I've just never seen that before, but major problems with the 99 of Daniel Suarez. And another problem from our danger zone drivers as Suarez was in there. Let's ride along and see what happened. Oh, yeah, just shut it off right there unexpectedly. Wow. Yeah, and this is not good news for the 99 of Suarez. As we talked about, he needed to finish 20th or better to at least stay alive. But this is definitely going to be costly for the 99 of Daniel Suarez, as this is probably going to take him out of the championship hunt. And then shortly after that, this is what we saw coming into turns 3 and 4. Wow, the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I don't know what happened, but that thing just got loose. Wow. Oh, the 48 of Alex Bowman, that's where he got the damage. Oh, and that completely blew the motor on that thing, and that's going to be costly for the 48. That all happened right in front of our championship leader, Martin Truex Jr. yet again, and I don't know what. Look, the 23 of Bubba Wallace looks like he stopped right there coming into turn 3. And that's when the 91 made contact with him. Wow, this happened right in front of your race leaders, too, as you saw the 11 and the 8 slowing down right there, trying to avoid all of those cars. But yeah, definitely a close call right there for the leaders. And yeah, there's the sky. Thanks, Luke. Well, here it is from Bubba Wallace, and we'll see what happened for this car to stall. All this happening right in front of him, and as you see, the 47 just snaps loose, and right there, he's just trying to avoid the 19, and the thing just stalled. I think he had the same problem like what we saw from Daniel Suarez, and here comes the 91.
Man. He really couldn't go anywhere. The 51 of Justin Bonsignor was sort of blocking his lane, and the 91 just couldn't do anything. But yeah, this is going to be costly for a lot of these drivers, including the 47, the 99, and the 91.
And this is going to be costly for the 48 of Alex Bowman as well, who is currently 3rd in the standings. He has a lot of damage from this, and I believe that's going to be a day ender for the 48, and the 3-peat run comes to an end for the 48 of Alex Bowman, and this is going to drop him out of contention. We're under our 6th caution now here, the most that we've had in the Fastenal Cup Series event, and the record is already broken. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back for another restart. 17 laps to go here in Martinsville, and we got big developing stories here in the championship standings. The 91 of Shane Van Gisbergen, as we mentioned, cannot have a bad finish. The radiator was busted on the nose of the 91 of Shane Van Gisbergen. He was unable to continue, and so he is now officially eliminated from championship contention here at Martinsville Speedway, as we're back underway here as Danny Hamlin leads the field. SVG has just become one of our winners that got eliminated early on, as he, of course, was our winner at Sonoma Raceway back in race 5. That's his only win so far, and his season, unfortunately, came to an end here. And the 48 of Alex Bowman, I want to mention, he is done in today's event, so this is going to be huge for the 48. And as you see, the 8 car of Kyle Busch trying to make a move right there to try to take the lead. He was unable to do it there. Well, how big will this be for the 8 of Kyle Busch if he gets this win? Even though Martin Truex Jr. is currently in the top 10, no matter where Kyle Busch's finishes, Martin Truex Jr. will still be the championship leader. But if Kyle Busch could stay where he's at right here and potentially get this win like what he's going for right now, as he's trying to pass the 11 of Danny Hamlin, the championship battle is going to get really, really tight, and he's going to rapidly approach in on the championship lead.
And there's no help for the 11 of Danny Hamlin. The 20 is giving the 8 a push. That's why the 8 of Kyle Busch is getting a huge run, and now he takes the lead here in Martinsville. Kyle Busch now leads the way.
Kyle Busch takes the lead, and this is going to be huge for him if he can somehow pull this state off. And guys, don't worry, during that caution period, they did pit it, so Kyle Busch has fresh tires, so that's why he had such a big run to get the lead here, as the 11 of Danny Hamlin is trying to get past the 20 of Christopher Bell for second. And man, this is going to be another heartbreaking loss for the 20 of Christopher Bell if he's unable to win this thing, as Christopher Bell has been the dominant car of the day, who's led 61 laps so far, but the 11 of Danny Hamlin is really trying to rattle his cage. That's a timeout. And you do know they're definitely hungry for points, as these guys are in the hunt, as they're currently top 6 in the standings. Kyle Busch currently 2nd, Christopher Bell 4th, and Danny Hamlin 6th. And the clock is ticking for the 5 of Kyle Larson, as Truex still in the top 10. The nail of the coffin for Kyle Larson's season is currently banging, as he's trying everything that he can to try to keep his season alive, but Martin Truex Jr. is still in the top 10. 10 laps remaining here, and oh man, right there, close contact with the 23. That's right, Tim James. 10 laps remaining here in Martinsville, and it's not looking good for this 5 car of Kyle Larson, nor the 23 of Bubba Wallace. As, of course, Truex is still currently in the top 10, currently so far here, and everybody is praying that the 2 of Austin Cindric can pass the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. before the end of this one. And hey, and also this 23 car, Bubba Wallace, is not on the lead lap because obviously he had a problem as he was trying to avoid the accident. So the 5 car of Kyle Larson is currently listed in the 4th place position. Chris Buescher right now in 5th. How about the 17 of Chris Buescher? Somehow found his way back up to the top 5. And he wants more, as he's rapidly approaching in behind the 5 of Kyle Larson. How about the 17 car, man? I don't know how he was able to do it. He's had a lot of damage on the left side, and he's trying to make it 3 wide right now for the 4th place position with the lap car of Bubba Wallace and the 5 of Kyle Larson on the lead lap.
Man, that 17 car is flying, as you can see right there. Oh, wow. Oh, he made contact with the 5 of Kyle Larson, it looks like.
That drops the 5 from Kyle Larson, now back down to 5th. And obviously, no matter where Kyle Larson finishes, he has to not have Martin Truex Jr. finish in the top 10, or else he will be eliminated, including all the drivers in the danger zone.
Well, we're going to see how things shape out as we are approaching with 5 laps to go as Kyle Busch continues to lead away. Can this be his day?
I know it's been a tough ride for Rowdy fans so far, but it looks like things are going to finally go his way here in the Fastenal Cup Series. 5 laps to go here in Martinsville, and the 20 car and the 11 is dropping by like a rock. Definitely does not look good for the 20 nor the 11. Of course, as we mentioned, the 8 of Kyle Busch has the freshest tires out of everybody, so that's why he was able to get the run that he needed here desperately. So unless of a caution comes out here, this will definitely end the race. So the 20 and the 11 just gotta hope that a caution does not come out and that the 8 car has trouble getting past lap traffic for them to at least still have a shot. Well, Kyle Busch is still right behind the net.
Caution!
Caution!
Kyle Busch
Has
is-
come out!
We're gonna get it!
The 43 of Aaron Jones spins and hits the wall on the front straightaway, and that's at the end of the race. Kyle Busch is going to be your winner.
Oh, look out. Oh,
and back
no.
in front of traffic collects the 20 of Christopher Bell and the 11 of Denny Hamlin as everybody is trying to negotiate through. Damage on the both of those guys.
That was just
One
wrong.
guy's just trying to negotiate through. You see the 22 is trying to avoid. The 19 as well, trying to avoid it as well. The 14, the 99. A lot of guys, the 36 is also piling in as well.
Oh, my
and
goodness,
more piling.
guys.
The 47. Oh, everybody is piling in.
Oh, the brake. What are we doing?
Oh, goodness.
What? I don't understand any of that. Like, I don't know why the 43 came out right in front of the 20 to cause that whole thing. I'm speechless.
An unbelievable turn of events here at Martinsville Speedway. The 8 car of Kyle Busch is currently your leader, and he is eventually going to be your winner here at Martinsville Speedway. And for the 3rd race in a row, the 20 car of Christopher Bell has 1 slips away from his fingers, and he's not going to be able to finish this one here. He's not going to be able to pace throughout the whole entire race. Heartbreak for the 20 of Christopher Bell and for the 11 of Denny Hamlin as it slipped away from his fingers. That's going to put Chris Buescher in the 17 seconds.
Wow. What a comeback.
And Sam, as this whole thing plays out, the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. comes home in the 9th place position. That's bad news for a lot of these guys, including the 5 of Kyle Larson. Larson does get a top 5 here today. But of course, as we mentioned, the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. is going to come home in the 9th place position. Larson does not need Truex to finish in the top 10. And with that all happening and being said and done, the 5 car is going to be eliminated from championship contention. But not only that, all the 10 drivers in the danger zone is eliminated. That means Reddick, Suarez, Austin Dillon, Hemrick, Briscoe, Stenhouse, William Byron, Bubba Wallace will all be eliminated from championship contention here today. Yeah, tough break for those 10 drivers in the danger zone, but how about the 8 of Kyle Busch getting a good break? As we cross the white flag, he's coming to the checkered flag, and finally, Kyle Busch, like what he can't do IRL, is going to be winning here at Martinsville Speedway as he wins the Xfinity 500 under caution, his first victory of the Fastenal Cup Series.
To the left!
And of course, this
Great
is
job,
big
man.
for
Nice
Kyle
work.
Busch. It's not to mention about how close the championship battle is between the 19 and the 8. Both drivers finished in the top 10. With Martin Truex Jr. finishing 9th, Kyle Busch isn't going to get the championship lead quite yet, but he will be definitely very close behind the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. We'll get into the points a little later when we shape things up here. Absolutely, this is going to be a big win for the 8 of Kyle Busch. Finally, after 13 races, he doesn't go winless in the Fastenal Cup Series. And even though this is not IRL, I'm pretty sure the Rowdy fans will definitely be happy with this one. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. It's definitely been a struggle IRL for Kyle Busch, but at least he was able to get this one here in the Fastenal Cup Series. Well, here was the replay of the incident that brought out the final caution here at Martinsville Speedway. The 43 of Aaron Jones was 3 wide right there, got hooked around after he was stuck in the middle right there, and you see the 8 car of Kyle Busch passing by, and the 20 and the 11 was just innocent bystanders right there, as it looked like to me the 43 just came back right in front of traffic, right in front of the leaders.
Yeah, I don't know about that, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what the 43 was trying to do, but
That was definitely costly for a lot of these guys, and oh man, I think you just saw the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. get damaged from this as well. As you see, everybody is piling in. There's brakes for a reason, people. I don't know what you guys doing. Well, we did not think that race was going to end like this, but what do you know, it did. Just a crazy ending what was a great race here at Martinsville. Yeah, obviously as you take a look, Eric Jones was just stuck in the middle, and he thought he was clear in front of the 31 of Daniel Hemrick, but he was not, and that's what got the 43 hooked around. And it's, look right here, you see the leaders coming by, the 8 comes by, and he just comes up deliberately right in front of the 20 and the 11. I don't know what that was for, but it caused this whole big stack up to occur with the 22 involved, as well as the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Oh yeah, right there you see the 36, the 14, and the 19 gaining damage from this. Although the 19 got damaged from the rear from all of this, he was still able to finish inside the top 10 in the 9th place position. You see everybody, I don't know what they were doing. They were trying to avoid under the bottom, and they just got in the middle of it. Well, let's see how much damage the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. got at the end of all this. And dude, Martin Truex Jr. has just been in the catbird seat for most of these accidents, but it doesn't look like he was able to avoid this one. As you see, right there, 36! Oh. Just got shoved right into it, the one that he just couldn't avoid. Well, he should also be lucky that this happened at the end of the race and not during the race, because this would have been costly for the 19, and it probably would have put Kyle Busch as the championship leader, but this happened at the end of the race, and the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. still finished home in the 9th place position, despite being caught up in this. But still a crazy ending to end this one. As you see, the 19, he actually got his rear tires up off the ground as the 36 got shoved into it. And that's how the 19 got damaged from the rear, still finished home in the 9th place position, which eliminates all the 10 drivers in the danger zone. But not to mention a big win for the 8 of Kyle Busch, as he finally gets his first win in the Fastenal Cup Series here at Martinsville Speedway. How about Chris Buescher in the 17? Gets caught up as in an incident as the leader spins out, hits the wall, still comes home in 2nd. How about that for Chris Buescher? Yeah, of course, Kyle Larson, as we mentioned, finished home in the 3rd place position. And obviously, we see Martin Truex Jr. He actually finished in 6th, actually, Sam. Whoops. So, Martin Truex Jr. finishes home in the 6th place position. That eliminates everybody in the top 10, and including the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And as we mentioned, Stenhouse was such a major dark horse at the beginning of the season. What a collapse for the 47. He gets eliminated with 2 races to go. And how about the 31 of Daniel Hemrick? Although he was eliminated from championship contention today, he finished home in the 8th place position, a top 10 for Hemrick, as well for William Byron and Austin Dillon, even though the both of them got eliminated as well. But this is definitely huge for a lot of these guys, as a lot of big namers were eliminated today. And also, you take a look, only 5 cars finished on the lead lap, probably because most of them were involved in that accident on lap 98, but they were able to continue just the lap down. And as you, of course, you can see right there, Bell, Hamrin, Briscoe, Cindric, Keselowski, Priest, and Elliott all retired from that because they were involved in that accident on lap 98. And still a heartbreaker again for Christopher Bell. Led the most laps, and he doesn't come home with the victory. Bell and Hamlin led laps today. Obviously, Christopher Bell with 61, the most out of everybody, so he does get an extra point. But the main thing is that his finish wasn't good, and of course, he couldn't continue on, and he couldn't finish the final two laps of that race. So it's definitely a stinger for sure for the 20 of Christopher Bell, as was once again slipped away from his fingers. And as we look deeper in the field, you can see that more drivers even retired from this race. Obviously, the 9 of Chase Elliott, but Zane Smith, Daniel Suarez, Tim Simmons all retired from that accident as well. They finished 26th, 27th, and 29th. Although it's weird seeing Justin Botsignor, who was 3 laps down, says is still running, while there's 2 drivers up top in front of him that retired, while another one retired behind him. Well, that's also because the drivers that did not finish this race also was either 2 laps down or 3 laps down, so that's why you see Tim Simmons, Zane Smith, and Daniel Suarez as retired, and of course Bell, Hamlin, Briscoe, Cindric, Keselowski, Priest, and Elliott currently listed as retired, while some of them says running behind them. Yeah, and a tough break for Tim Simmons too for his 2nd DNF here after he got his first one in Phoenix. He gets another one here today. Tough break for Tim Simmons. And then the rest of the field, you just see a big name right here in 35th. Alex Bowman in the number 48 retired from this race, finishes home 35th. This is going to be costly for him in the points, as this is probably going to drop him out of contention now. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's over for that 48 car just yet. I mean, we do have 2 more races left, but this next one that we're about to go to is going to be another 1.5 miles. he's going to have to be very, very careful because I think after all this, he went from being in contention for the championship to being in the danger zone all in one race. Ouch. Tough break for Alex Bowman right there for sure. And of course, as you can see, more drivers listed as ME. Now the drivers in the top 10 are still alive here. And as you can see, youch, Alex Bowman drops from 3rd all the way down to 8th. Pretty much taking him out of the hunt now, pretty much at this point. Well, as like you said, Tim James, it's not over yet. We still got 2 races left. So pretty much the only mathematical chance that these guys could catch up is that the top 5 pretty much has an issue coming into this next race. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough hole to dig out of. But Alex Bowman pretty much had it in hand until he was kind of an incident, pretty much taking him out of contention. Yeah, and as you can see right there, not much actually from the championship lead as Martin Truex Jr. continues to lead. However, though, it's now separated by 15 points. And as you see right there, 3rd place, Joey Logano. For Martin Truex Jr., it's just a dot because now they're separated by 43 points. So Joey Logano's going to have a lot of catching up to do, and they got to hope that the top 2 guys in the points have an issue coming into this next race. I think all of them pretty much do, especially everybody here in the top 10. In order to catch up to this top 2, they're gonna have something dramatic happen to these top 2 because I pretty much think that the top 2 is pretty much going to be the ones to look out for as they're mainly in the hunt for this contention. Joey Logano, though, could still catch up, though. He just needs to have a good day, and Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch to both have a bad day. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a wild final 2 races for sure as the season is winding down to the wire. Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Busch really needs to lock in if they want to stay in the championship hunt. We're definitely going to look out for that as we move on to our next race. And for the second to last race, for race 14 of the Fastenal Cup Series, it will take us down to our final intermediate track, that being Sin City at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for race number 14, the South Point 400. Definitely a saving grace for a lot of these drivers who is trying to fight their way back up into the championship hunt, as this Las Vegas can be good for a lot of drivers, including the 22 of Joey Logano. He's really good at that track, so he's gonna be the one to really keep an eye on when we come to Las Vegas. Yeah, and absolutely, and not to mention that Denny Hamlin is also good there too, so keep an eye on those 2 drivers because they want to keep their season alive and hope to have a great day at Las Vegas Motor Speedway and to spoil the dream for both Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. Las Vegas is definitely going to be a fun one to watch, and I can't wait for that. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun race for sure. And before we sign up on the air from our broadcast, I want to take a moment to thank the fans here I appreciate your patience as I was trying to get this video out. I know it's been a rough couple of weeks for me personally, but I'm just glad that things are back in the right direction and I can finally upload content for you guys again. I do appreciate all the kind words and respect, and of course all the positive mojo that you sent out during these past couple of weeks as I was dealing with the crisis. But now I'm officially back in action. But for right now, that's going to conclude our broadcast here at the Paperclip at Martinsville Speedway. We thank you all so much for tuning in here to Martinsville Speedway. Once again, we apologize for the little lateness on this video. Of course, with all the rain showers and of course with the crisis. I'm just glad I was finally get this thing out. Until next time, we'll see you guys at Las Vegas Motor Speedway here in these next couple of weeks whenever I can finish this. So yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. And please try to stay healthy out there because you do not want to have the sickness. And also stay warm too. Yeah, please.